Hello guys, Life Hackster here. Today we are going to check out another dual channel dash cam. I did review the Viofo A129 a while back, which is also a dual channel camera. And if you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description down below. Z-Edge contacted me after I posted that video and asked if I can check out their T4 dash cam, which I agreed when I saw that they have some good reviews on Amazon. Thank you Z-Edge for sending me the camera. I was intrigued though because I usually want dash cams to be discreet and not stand out, and this dash cam is exactly the opposite and will definitely stand out with its 4-inch touchscreen and the blue flashing LED which flashes all the time, even when the unit is off, which it can be a good or bad thing. Good because it will make somebody take a second look and will act as a deterrent, especially when the car is parked at night. And bad if some people will think that it is something valuable that is worth taking. It is also a touch screen, and you know a lot of other dash cams barely have a screen, and is a pain to toggle to check and change the settings. So, this dash cam is unique on this aspect, and its design is going on the opposite direction, making dash cams bigger instead of smaller as compared to most dash cameras in the market today. So we will be doing the unboxing, check out its features, setup, installation, and I'll be showing you guys sample footage so that we can see the video quality of this dash camera in both daytime and nighttime scenarios. Let's check out the features. In dual channel mode, this dash cam records in full HD, 1080p at 30 frames per second, in both front and rear facing cameras. It has WDR wide dynamic range. It has a 4-inch TFT LCD color touch screen. It has a 155-degree field of view, built-in G sensor to automatically record and save when somebody bumps the car. It has motion detection, parking mode, and audio recording. These features are standard on dashcams, but the unique feature is the 4-inch LCD touchscreen, which I will tell you later on one benefit of this and why would you want to go this route instead of purchasing a smaller, more discreet dashcam. So let's open up the box. We have the main dash camera itself. It looks like a point-and-shoot camera. It has the 4-inch LCD screen. On top is the rear camera mini USB port. We have the mount slot in the middle and the micro USB on the right side for power or charging port. We have the power button on the left side and also the micro SD card slot, which is covered by a rubber flap. Nothing on the right side. We have some vent holes on top. In the front, we have the camera lens, a 155-degree field of view 6-element glass lens with an aperture of 2.0. So what else is inside the box? We have the 12-foot micro USB cable to power up and charge the camera. I say charge because this camera has a 180 mAh lithium-ion battery on it. We have stick-on cable clips. We have a push tool that you can use to hide the wires in your car's trim. We have the car charger with 2 USB ports. We have a shorter micro USB cable to hook up the camera to your computer. Then we have the rear camera mini USB cable with a total length of 26 feet. We have a suction mount, and this is the only mount option available for this dashcam. We have the rear camera. This dashcam includes a 32GB micro SD card. We have some paperwork and the user guide. First, let's put in the 32GB micro SD card that is included with the camera. Let's plug it in and check out the settings. System initialize, yes. Choose language, English. Then we will set the date and time. The touchscreen is pretty responsive, I like that. The dashcam starts recording automatically when you turn it on. On the left side menu, we have the different modes: drive, scenic, park, and WDR. In drive mode is for everyday driving and has the following presets: G sensor set to normal sensitivity, loop recording for 3 minutes, the parking mode is on, and the screen turns off after 1 minute. The scenic mode records longer video clips for easier post-processing. So the loop recording is every 5 minutes, parking mode is on, G sensor sensitivity is on low setting, and the LCD screen is always on. Then we have the park mode, which is monitoring your parked vehicle and has the highest G sensor sensitivity, and also optimizes the battery use. It loops record every minute, and when it senses vibration or motion, it records until 30 seconds after the triggered event stops, then it will return to monitoring mode. All the footage from this mode is protected from being overwritten. On this mode, you don't have to hardwire the camera to your car and it uses the internal battery, and with that said, it is not recommended for long-term parking situations because of the battery life, which will depend on how often it will get triggered. Z-Edge recommends to turn the camera around so as to monitor the inside of your vehicle when you set it to park mode. Then we have the WDR mode, which uses wide dynamic range technology and balances bright and dark areas so as to get clearer image. This is useful especially in night driving where the footage has dark areas and also bright areas caused by the street lights. Or like me, you can always turn this feature on anyways. On the bottom of the screen, we also have access to play or pause the video recording, a lock icon to protect the current recording from being overwritten, mic on or off, the main menu if you want to change the settings, snapshot if you want to take a photo of the current camera's view. If the rear camera is plugged in, then you will have another option on the right side of the display where you can toggle the view of the LCD screen between front only, rear only, and dual PIP. If you go back and click the main menu, then you go to the settings page where you can change the resolution. And if the rear camera is not installed, then you will have some options for the front camera, but if the rear camera is installed, the only option for video resolution is 1080p at 30 frames per second on both cameras. There is also the other settings like changing date and time, parking mode, frequency, date stamp, auto off, and drive ID options. Clicking the next arrow will get you to the exposure, formatting, G sensor sensitivity, tones, language, logo stamp. Next would be the startup chimes, screen off times, motion detection, themes, and default settings. If you go back to the main settings page, you will have playback option in which you either can view the normal recordings or the emergency or protected recordings, where it will give you a thumbnail of the recorded footage. By the way, this dashcam doesn't have Wi-Fi, so you will not be able to download the footage to your phone. You will need to plug in the camera to your computer or remove the micro SD card to download the recordings. So enough with the settings, and we will install it in my car and see what the footage looks like. As I said before, one annoying thing about the dual channel dashcam is when routing the wiring to the rear camera. You have to deal and avoid airbags, so the best place to hide the wires will be in the side rocker panel. The only option to install this dashcam is via suction mount, which does a pretty good job, but it would have been better if there's a mounting tape option for a more permanent install. The suction doesn't work on frits, you know, those little black dots around your windshield and behind the rear view mirror, which is the ideal location to install this camera. But because it will not stick, then it has to be installed lower, which, because it is a bigger unit, it can be a distraction, especially in smaller cars with smaller windshields. Another gripe I have are the cables. They are angled, so it seems like this dashcam is designed for the wires to go sideways and not going up to the headliner for a cleaner install. I don't know what their engineers were thinking when they designed this. This dashcam will occupy a lot of your windshield space, and from the outside, it is very noticeable and not discreet at all. Compare this with the VOFO on top, which is barely there. Now, let's install the rear camera. What I noticed is that the camera itself is going to be positioned further away from my rear window as compared to the VOFO A129, and the design itself, you will think it is small. But if you have an SUV that has a near vertical rear window, then you have to open up the camera mount, increasing its footprint. It is something you have to think about. Also, this camera, aside from being a center of attention in your windshield, it also has this blue light that's constantly flash even when your car is off. And we hope that it is a good deterrent and making people think that the car has some type of an alarm or protection or the camera is recording. Now let's check out some footage. So this is the audio and video quality of the Z-Edge T4 dual dash camera. This audio is from the front facing camera. Now this is the audio from the rear facing camera. There's one thing that you can use this camera for aside from being a dash cam. Because it has a 4-inch screen, you can actually use this as a backup camera if you have a car that doesn't have one yet. It doesn't have any guidelines like an OEM backup camera, but at least you can use it as a guide when backing up, especially if you have a bigger vehicle. Overall, the Z-Edge T4 dual dash cam has a decent video quality in both daytime and at night. If both front and rear cameras are used, then the resolution is only 1080p on both cameras. But if you only use the front-facing one, you can have it set up to 1440p or a more smoother 60 frames per second at 1080p. This dash camera has a bigger footprint as compared to other dash cams in the market. And with a blinking blue light, it will act as a deterrent and will let people know that your car is being monitored by the camera. Personally, because I have a mid-sized car, I want my dash cams to be smaller and discreet. But if you have a bigger truck or van that has a bigger windshield, then this dash cam will work pretty good. Also, you can use the 4-inch LCD screen as a backup camera, which can be an added benefit if you have an older car. This dash camera doesn't have any Wi-Fi or GPS, so take that into account when purchasing this, especially on its current retail price. The ViOFO A129 has Wi-Fi and also GPS for about the same price. That's it guys, comment down below if you have any questions, and I'm hoping you liked this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to get product reviews like this video, product updates, comparison videos, and long-term reviews. Thank you.